Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HunnybatCreations Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie. Grab your favorite yarn, settle into a comfy spot, and come hang out with me while we talk midnight color projects, slow but steady whips, and whatever else is happening in my world of creation. Let's jump in and see what I've been working on. Let's start off with something cozy and spooky, which are my Halloween mittens. This is what they look like. I use the pattern The World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. This pattern is such a beginner-friendly pattern. It's free, the instructions are clear, and what I love most about it is actually that you can use whatever yarn you want. You can make the mittens chunky, you can make them thin, you can make them fuzzy. Whatever you feel like using, you can do, and it's super customizable as well. So for my yarn, I used the Scary Sock Wool by Hobby in the color Witch Party. I will definitely pop up some more pictures whilst I'm showing you these things. So they're 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and 100 grams equals 410 meters. And this is a super fine yarn. This yarn definitely lives up to its title, Scary, because these are quite scratchy, if I'm being honest. And I expected that, but wow, like I couldn't wear them without a fleece lining. So that's what I did. I fully lined these mittens. For my needles, I used 2mm and 2.5mm needles. The recommended size was, I believe, 2 and 2.75, but I did not have that, so I worked with what I had and I just sized up my pattern, and luckily it all worked out fine. The things that worked well for me were, I am really happy that I didn't get like second mitten syndrome. I was really afraid that I would have second mitten syndrome, but I didn't, which makes me really happy. For my first time knitting mittens, and I also never knit socks before, I think they turned out pretty great. So what I would change next time is I would definitely use the correct size needles, and most likely I will also switch to circular needles because my tension was crazy tight, and I also had like a laddering because I used this, like, I believe they're called flexi tip needles, and I think I used them wrong as well. Where they crossed, that's where I had laddering and I couldn't fix it no matter what I tried. And I think that circulars would solve that issue for me. If you have any tips on fixing laddering, please share them in the comments. Also, if you want to see some more information about these mittens, I actually have a project vlog up on my channel and I'll link it down below. So next up is a fun little Sentro knitting machine project. I call it the Slinky Scarf. I made it on my Sentro 48 knitting machine, and it's a self-drafted pattern. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I will be posting a full tutorial on how to make this scarf, so keep an eye out for that. It's coming soon. Let me just show you really quickly. So it's wider in the center, and then it really like tapers into points. And what I wanted is to be able to wrap it around and then tie it in the front. And I think this worked out great. I made a black one. I'm not going to be making a black one for the tutorial because then you won't be able to see anything that I'm doing. So that's going to be coming up. Moving on to a sweater, and my final finished project for this podcast episode is going to be my yoga sweater by Crochet Knits. Let me show it to you. This is what it looks like. I am really happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really cool. I definitely will insert some pictures or a little clip of me wearing it because I feel like that would be better for you to see. So I used the cookie yarn by Jarbo, and this was the color Licorice. It's a 100% acrylic yarn. 200 grams equals 600 meters. And guys, this yarn is so soft. It has a beautiful halo on it, even though it's an acrylic yarn. And the best part is I made this out of leftovers from another project, which also made this project turn into the ultimate game of yarn chicken. And I was sweating the entire time, but I won. I'm so proud. I am really proud of this. I'm gonna be wearing it a lot. So for needles, I used the 5mm needles that were recommended for the project. I knit the whole sweater in the 5mm and also the ribbing on the bottom and also on the cuffs. I did, for the neck ribbing, use the 4mm needles because that's just what I prefer. I really like the neck to be a bit more tight. The pattern told me not to size down, but I did it anyways because that's what I like, and I am glad I made that decision. What worked well for me in this project definitely was the game of yarn chicken that I won. It was crazy, and it really felt like a victory when I was able to finish it, and I even had some left over. And yeah, the neckline. How the neckline turned out by sizing down, I love it. Things I would change if I would make this pattern again is I definitely would not make a full sweater with leftovers again because the yarn chicken made me really nervous. So I will definitely not be doing that. You know, and it also caused me to not be able to make the sweater the length that I would actually want it to be. If I had more yarn and if I would not have been so uncertain about how much yarn I had, I would have made the part that goes from under the arm to the split a lot longer. Let me see if I can show you. Like armpit, split. So yeah, that's not much at all. And I definitely would have liked the sweater to be a bit longer than it is. Don't get me wrong, I really love cropped things, but it's so cropped that it really limits my styling options, and that's a bit unfortunate. I will still wear it a lot because I'm really proud of this piece. Also, I have a project vlog for this sweater, which will be linked down below as usual. Okay, moving on to my works in progress. Let me just pull it out really quickly. There's only one because I finished my other projects. Are you inside out? Yeah, you're inside out. I knit everything inside out because I just prefer that, but I will flip it for you so that you can see it better. This is the Zip Me Up cardigan by Nitagoras, I think is how we pronounce it. And I'm knitting this in a Halloween color yarn, Hobby Horizons. And the colorway is number 3. This is the label. I'm using 4mm needles for the project. I used a 3mm for the neck ribbing because I wanted it to be really tight, and a 3.75 for the bottom ribbing, and I will also use that same size for the sleeves, which I am currently working on. So the sleeve's on a holder, and I'm currently knitting this sleeve. Oh my god, this is really hard to show you, but this is a really Halloween-y cardigan. And I know what you're thinking, Halloween's over, but yeah, this project has been a little bit slow because I paused it to work on the other things that I just showed you, and I really wanted the mittens to be done before Halloween, and the sweater maybe not so much. So that's why. It will have a zipper. I still need to go out and buy the zipper, but I want to finish it first, then wash it and block it, then measure it, and then put in the zipper. Because I think if I will put in the zipper before, I feel like everything's gonna pucker because yarn changes when you wash it and block it, as I am sure all of you will know. Also, this yarn is really soft. I think this is like a premium acrylic. It's really soft and it glides on the needles really well. But one thing I do want to say, the cake fell apart really fast, and my lovely boyfriend had to help me wind it up because it was one giant knot. I wasn't happy about that, but luckily my boyfriend wanted to help me, because if he didn't help me, yeah, this cardigan would not happen. And then the final thing I want to say about the yarn is that the colors They don't necessarily bleed into each other. In some spots, there's like a little bit of spotting, but not so much that it bothers me. But the dye on the yarn, especially the black and the purple parts, my hands were dyed. I will insert a picture. I'm not sure if it is like this with all the Horizon yarns. I do have some other Horizon yarns, so if I work with that one, we'll see if it is the same as well. But for this one, it dyed my hands. I don't really care that much, but if you do, well, now you know. Next, I want to talk to you about my new cast-ons and future projects. Number one, next thing I will start making is a Freddy Krueger styled sweater for my boyfriend. He really loves Nightmare on Elm Street, so I thought I would recreate this famous sweater for him. I'm gonna try and make it as accurate as I can, but I will definitely be doing a raglan. I know that this is not a raglan, but that's what I'm gonna do. For the rest, I'm gonna measure out the stripes and everything. I'm not gonna be following a pattern. I'm just gonna try and figure it out by myself. And yes, there will be a vlog. These are the yarns that I'm gonna be using. I feel like they're as close as I'm gonna get. This is the Zeeman Royale yarn, and this is like the big promotion balls. These only cost €3 a piece, so for €6 my boyfriend's gonna have a sweater, and that's amazing. Then the second thing I'm gonna be making is another Slinky Scarf. That is gonna have a tutorial like I mentioned earlier. I don't know what yarn I'm gonna be using yet, but it is definitely gonna be a lighter colored yarn, not a black, because you won't be able to see what I'm trying to teach you or show you. So that is that. Then something else I want to make is like a bulky or a super bulky sweater. I am craving something that's gonna be finished fast. So that is definitely gonna be coming up soon, and I acquired some yarn that would be perfect for what I have in mind, but keep tuned. I'm gonna talk about that later. Then I also want to make the sailor slippers. They're everywhere. Everyone and their mom and their entire family has a pair of sailor slippers already, and I feel like I'm kind of late to the party, but I'm also not, because people are still making them, and I just gotta find the time to do it. It will also be my first time felting, so I'm really excited about that as well. And then the final thing that I'm gonna be casting on soon, I have to cast it on soon because it's a pattern test for the Alley Cat hat by Dreadful Velvet. I'm really excited about that. And I thrifted some yarn, and as soon as I saw there was a cat hat pattern, I thought about this yarn that I have. Look at it. It's perfect. It looks like a calico cat. That's gonna make some really great pattern test pictures for her, I think, because I feel like most people would make like a black cat beanie. That's also what I would get the most wear out of, but I really feel like this yarn would be perfect. Also, it was really cheap. It was like only €1 per skein. It doesn't have any labels, so I don't really know what it is, but that doesn't matter because it's cute. So let's talk a little bit more about some yarn. I bought a lot of yarn from Hobby this month because they were having their Black November, Black Friday sales, and the haul video for that is already up on my channel. I'll be sure to link it down below. I got so much things that this podcast episode would be way too long to show you everything, and I already have a video about it. So if you want to see all the Black Friday goodies that I got, check out that video. Then I actually ended up going to a secondhand vintage fair, and I didn't think I was gonna find things there, but I found some vintage yarn for really cheap, and I will be making a separate video about that as well, but I will just show you the yarn really quickly. One is this. I will definitely insert some close-ups though, because I don't think you're going to be able to see this really well. But it is this dark black, pinkish, mauvey. I don't really know. It says one skein makes one scarf, but I think I'm gonna make a sweater with it because I got a lot of skeins. This came in a bag like that. I just picked up the entire bag and didn't really look at it. Then I got this. I really don't know what this is. This is modern art. It's 50 grams. It doesn't really say that much. It's merino and acrylic. Looks like this. Got a couple of skeins of that. And then the final yarn that I got, another black and white one. This is called a Lova yarn. What are you made of? I don't know. It's a super bulky. Don't know if I will have enough for a sweater, but this is what that looks like. So that was the vintage yarn that I got really quickly because I will be dedicating an entire video to that. And I will go into more detail there. So next up is the yarn for the sailor slippers, which is Drop Snow. I got 4 black ones and 2 copper ones because I want to do only 2 tones. So I got, what's the name of these colors? It doesn't really say. But the black is just the regular Drop Snow unicolor. And it's color number 2. And then the coppery one is a Drop Snow mix. And that's number 86. And it's kind of like, I don't know, is it marled? It has like different tones in there. But I think these are gonna make like really cool slippers. And I was really surprised with how this feels. I thought this was gonna be a lot more toothy than it actually is, but I can definitely see how this will felt really well. I also ordered some like what do you call it, like grip thing for on the bottom. It's like a specific type of glue that prevents you from slipping, because I can imagine felt slippers without anything rubbery on the bottom, I will fall. I am so clumsy and I will fall. So I definitely need something grippy on the bottom. I'm looking forward to this project a lot actually, because I don't really know what to expect from the felting portion of this. We'll figure it out because I'm gonna vlog it as well. And then lastly, recently I helped a friend of mine move house, and she surprised me with some yarn from Aldi as a thank you for helping me move gift. And I am so happy. This is the first time somebody other than my boyfriend actually gifted me yarn, and I am really happy with the yarn that she got me because it will broaden my horizons, because some of this yarn would not be something that I've picked up myself, but I'm really happy that I have it now and I can play with it. So the first yarn that she got me was this color pack. You're meant to make a scarf with it, which is not what I'm gonna do because that's not really my style. There's instructions for the scarf on the back. I think I want to make a pair of striped socks and then do a striping with the colors in the socks. As I mentioned earlier, I have never made socks before, so this is gonna be interesting. These are definitely gonna be like home socks because this is like acrylic, and yeah, the yarn is a bit too thick to wear in shoes, but this is gonna be really cool. And yeah, socks. I never thought I would make socks. There's a first time for everything, I guess. Then next up, I'll be making some more socks, but this time like really like comfortable fleecy house socks. They come with a sock pattern. I don't really know what type of heel or anything this could be. This can go in the washing machine, which is great. So these will also be home socks, and I can make 2 pairs. Not sure, I might even make 1 pair for her as like a gift, so I can kind of like gift it back to her. Is that weird? She bought me this yarn, and if I were to make her 1 pair of these socks with the yarn that she got me and I gifted that to her, would that be weird? What do you think? Please tell me, because I don't know. I would like it, but I don't know if that's considered weird or not. I would like some feedback on that. So that's these. And then finally, she got me 2 of these and 2 of these. So this is the same type of yarn. I got 2 of each colorway, a beigey one and like the dark green. This is what they look like. And I mentioned earlier that bulky sweater. I wanted to make like scarves with them, but I have 4 of them, and that's enough for a sweater. So I will be making a sweater, a striped sweater. I wouldn't have picked these colors together, separately, sure. Together, I don't know, but I'm gonna be making a sweater with them, and I think it's actually gonna be cool. They're like kind of tweedy, and let me just see what you're made of. I think this is 100% acrylic though. Yeah, acrylic. This is the final like yarn that I got, and guys, I don't need any more yarn like ever now, because I have too much yarn. I really have too much yarn now, and it's not healthy. Next, I want to give you a little tip, actually, that I figured out when making my mittens. So I mentioned I added the fleece lining to them, right? So it's sewn by hand. I used a woolly nylon thread to do this. And I did this because regular thread is actually really sharp and it can cut through your wool over time, and you don't want that because all your work is going to become undone if your strands of wool end up being cut over time by wear faster than they would with regular wear and tear. So the woolly nylon thread, it really like stretches more, it's sturdier, it has a different structure. I recommend everyone do this. If you're ever sewing your knitting, even with a sewing machine, put the woolly nylon thread in your sewing machine, and it's gonna make your life so much better because your garments will not fall apart, because regular yarn is too sharp and it cuts wool like a blade. I also really quickly wanted to mention my new needles that I got. These are the Betula needles from Hobby. I got them in their sale, and I'm really excited about these. I made my gauge swatch for my Freddy Krueger sweater with this, and I will be knitting the sweater up with these. They're amazing, and I really recommend them. If you've never tried like wooden needles before, and you don't want to spend too much money because you're not sure if you'll like them or not, you can get a set like this, which is just a small one with a few sizes. And I was lucky, these are my most used sizes. The pouch is also really nice. It's a canvas pouch. I'm excited about these. I talk a bit more about them and give some more details in the Hobby Black Friday haul, but I really wanted to mention them in this episode of the podcast as well. I've only ever used aluminium needles before, so using wood is a whole new experience. They're so smooth and warm, and they feel a lot better than the aluminium ones in my hands, because when I start to get a bit sweaty, that happens to me sometimes when I knit. Sorry, it's gross, but it does. And I feel like the wood will do a lot better with that than the aluminium, because the aluminium is just slippity slide all over the place, and then I have to stop and let my hands cool down a bit. It's a whole thing. I can't be the only one. I really hope I'm not the only one who experiences that. That's enough chit chat about the needles. Then on to some cozy little live chat. I watched Monster the Ed Gein story and I liked it. Yes, some parts were exaggerated and some things were also not true. They added it in to give the story a bit more, I don't know, oomph, I guess. And a lot of people don't seem to like that they did that. But I feel like those people also forget that this series is not meant to be a documentary. Documentaries are supposed to give truth and facts. This is a show. It's not a documentary. It's gonna have some truth, but also some different story stuff to make it more interesting. And, you know, either you like that or you hate that. I didn't mind it at all. One thing I do want to say about it, I feel like the last 2 episodes were unnecessary to me. I feel like it could have stopped before that, because everything that came after I thought was kind of, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. If you watched it, you probably know what I mean. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you watched it. I picked up Animal Crossing New Horizons again after hearing about the 3.0 update that's going to be coming up in January. I want to finish my island before the update drops because I know if I don't finish it before, it will never get finished because I will be doing the update stuff. So I don't know. How do you feel about that if you play Animal Crossing New Horizons, and are you excited? Because I think I am. Yeah, I really am. But also, I was really hoping for a new game and not extra stuff for the one that we've been playing for over 5 years now. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. I also want to touch on the secondhand fair that I went to. It was my first time going to one of those, and I didn't go home empty-handed, and I really thought I would. I found the yarn, and I also found 2 records. One is the Eurythmics and one is The Cure, 2 of my all-time favorite bands. What's your favorite type of music? Let me know. I will definitely be going to the secondhand fair again next year because I had a really fun time. Quickly, I really want to thank everyone who commented on my last vintage yarn haul video with how I could go about washing these vintage yarns. I am making a video about how I'm washing the vintage yarns. People have asked for it. I'm doing it, don't worry, but it's taking a lot longer than I actually thought it would. So it will be coming to the channel, don't worry, but I can't tell you when because it's a really exhausting process, and I wanted to do it all at once, and it was too much. It was too much at once, and I burnt myself out with it a little bit. So I took a little break from the washing, and now I got more vintage yarn to wash, but that video will be coming soon. I will finish it because I have to. First of all, I need to use these beautiful vintage yarns that I got. I can't just let them be stinky, and I'm also keeping them separate from my actual yarn stash because I don't want any cross-contamination. I don't know if cross-contamination, is that a good word? I don't know. You know what I mean. I don't want any moths or dust or whatever to get into my fresh yarn stash. So that's that. With the holidays coming up, I can't help but be really curious about what handmade gifts you're gonna be making this year and who you're gonna gift them to. Doesn't have to be knitting, any craft counts. Please let me know down below. Also, I am asking this because I need some extra inspiration myself, but shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, guys, we made it to the end of my first podcast episode. Today, we went through 3 finished objects, a spooky cardigan whip, a lineup of new projects ranging from felting into horror-inspired sweaters. We talked yarn deals, thrifted treasures, new tools, and some cozy, at least to me, cozy entertainment. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the first episode of the HunnybatCreations Podcast. I really appreciate you spending some time here with me today. I hope your yarn behaved, your stitches went smoothly, and your project feels a little more cozier than before. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you're working on right now. I always love hearing from you. Keep crafting and may your project stay beautifully dark and wonderfully soft. Until next time.